You can have anything you want, you just have to be willing to pay the price in full before you have it. Hey, it's Anthony Iannarino, thesalesblog.com, right here, youtube.com/Iannarino, and author of The Only Sales Guide You'll Ever Need. This is a follow-on video from yesterday's video where I talked about the fact that your competitor might be willing to do things you're unwilling to do. They might be willing to make cold calls when you're not, and they might be willing to ask tougher questions than you're willing to ask, and they might be willing to bring in other stakeholders because they're not afraid of building consensus, they're more afraid of not building it. And so the constraint that stops a lot of us is the fact that we're afraid and we don't want to be uncomfortable, we don't want to make other people uncomfortable, and so we're not willing to do what needs to be done. And it made me start thinking about where I first learned this. And I remember being 13 years old, and I started work at a place called Villa Milano's when my best friend's mom got a job there, and she brought us both in as dishwashers. He was 14, I was 15. And there were two roles that you could have as a dishwasher. And this is a big banquet center we're working at. There's 2,000 people being served on a Friday or Saturday night, a 7-course meal. So dishes are going out and dishes are coming back. It's really fast-paced. And you're literally taking the dishes off the back of the dishwasher and replating them and sending them back out. It was that kind of a pace. So the first job you could have would be to work the front of the dishwasher. So bus trays would come back and they'd be disgusting and gross. You'd have to spray all the food off and then get it to go down the garbage disposal, rack the plates and glasses and cups and everything and put it through the front of the dishwasher. By the end of the first half hour working there, you would literally be drenched from so much water being sprayed and the fast pace. And so people hated working the front of the dishwasher. There were always people that would show up and they would do anything to get out of working the front of the dishwasher just because they didn't want to be wet, because being wet would make them uncomfortable. The other role that you could have would be to work the back of the dishwasher. And at the back of the dishwasher, the dishes are coming out of the machine at 180 degrees or something like that. And you literally have to grab them by the side and stack them up and then move them very quickly because they're being sent back out. So your hands would get hot, they would burn because the plates were so hot. But if you grabbed them by the outside and you figured out how to do that, you could move them really quickly without it bothering your hands too much. And so there was always a group of people who hated to work the back of the dishwasher. And the truth of the matter was both of the jobs came with a negative aspect. And some people didn't like one negative aspect and some other people didn't like the other negative aspect. I was so happy to be working at a place where I got to eat prime rib and chocolate mousse and lasagna every day, and Miss Milano would come around and say, "You're too skinny, you eat them more." She would feed me, and it was at 13 when we didn't have a lot of money and we only ate macaroni and cheese and fish sticks. Lasagna and prime rib started to look pretty good. So I was happy working there and I was happy to do whatever job it was. But that's really the difference between the people that succeed and the people that don't succeed. And you've heard this before, I'm not saying anything new. The people who succeed are willing to do things that people who are unsuccessful are just unwilling to do. It's not that they're not smart enough, it's not that they don't have the competency, it's not that they can't learn, it's just that they don't want to be uncomfortable and they don't want to. It's the unwillingness that causes them to produce results that are less than they're capable of. And for you and for me, there are things that we feel that way about, but listen, breakthrough transformational results always come from you being willing to do something you've been unwilling to do, and to step into that discomfort and to step through that fear and take the action, because all the benefits are on the other side. I'm Anthony Iannarino. Hit subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow because this is every day.